Can you hear me now? All of that talking. And I forgot to swap the track my audio was on. Street Melons is shutting down. Oh, how tragic, because they've done so much working stuff for me. uh, well, anyways, what I was saying was hello to everybody. I think I said hello, my lovely peoples. Hello, Mockingjay, Thomas, Tristan, Toasty. Welcome in. What I was gonna say, what I was saying, is what I want to do today. Willow should be here. Oh, it got turned off somehow. Hello? There we go. Good morning, CVC. Welcome in. But yeah, I was gonna say is I was gonna see if I could make like a harder interloper. I don't really see anywhere to affect the starting temperature or make it any colder, really. So, I guess we might just do regular old interloper then. But hey, that's okay. I know I saw that Mockingjay, how was it? I am EP. That is something else that I said while my mic was not working. That I'm sleepy. I got out of bed very recently. I'm EPGP today. Well, so I can change... Oh, Mars, what is going on, dude? I can change how world gets colder over time, but I can't change the starting temperature. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I was Mockingjay. I rushed through Silk Song, like, majorly, and I got to a couple bosses I was struggling with, and I was like, you know what, maybe I should get a couple masks and get some more Silk Spools. You see, Toasty, that's true. But you failed to you failed to take in the fact to account the fact that I was mega depressed yesterday, and that means I don't feel productive today. Well, interloper it is. Let's see. I feel like I should go for some new things. Spice things up. Let's see. I shan't, Toasty. I shan't. It's on my calendar. Don't worry. I've actually been playing a bit of Stardew on my own because I just got that. I got that hankering for it. Yes, I do have a warm breakfast. It's the rest of this thing that I got from the store that looked pretty good, and it was like a family-sized serving that you put in the oven for like an hour of mac and cheese with like breadcrumbs, broccoli, and chicken, and it, I will say, has been quite delicious. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah, I hate teachers that do that, Mockingjay, where they give you a midterm like a couple weeks before finals. It's like, hey, you either space it out so it's a third of the way in the semester, a second of the way in the semester, and then finals, or you do middle of the semester. To do a final or a midterm like a week or two before the final is just dumb. I hate that shit. Guys, what should we do? I don't care about optimal stuff at all. Give me something to do. Or maybe we should do a random number generator. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. Let's see, hold up. Give me a random number between 1 and 11. 3. I might just veto that. I really don't want this one. Getting more fatigued during the day. I think that'll be my one veto. Because honestly, the Darkwalker one is fine for, like, infinite night challenges. But this is probably the worst feat. Like, ever. Like, I hate this one. I've never used it or even thought about using it. Hold up, we got 7 and 6. Okay, 7, 6. Those are the first two numbers I saw from you guys. I'll take those two. I'm not going to complain about this one. It's not like the best choice because you can get there eventually anyways and eventually it becomes worthless. But I do love me not having to worry about Tinder at all. Alrighty. Toasty got a 2 and a 10. Let's compare them. 2 is Settled Mind. 10 is Cold Fusion. Well, that's just like, you see, that's the thing, is that's the optimal choice. That's what I would normally take. So I'm gonna reject your numbers, Toasty, not because they're bad numbers, but because I wanted something new, and that's quite literally the things that I would take anyways, if I could choose. So we're gonna go with 7 and 6. Eloping for real. That's the name of our wonderful save here. Oh no. Guys, I left my water bottle in the living room. I'll go grab it real quick. Sad D&D noises, no. Alright. Let's do it. Why am I in top chat again? I clicked live chat twice. Bad OBS. Oh, it's dawn in Pleasant Valley. And we're right by the cave. Because I'm a psycho, I'm just gonna go straight for Ash Canyon. That might get me killed. Actually, no, I'll be confident. I'll be fine. I'll get the backpack. It'll be easy. We got it. Easy peasy. I think Toasty probably just did a online, because there's no such thing as a D11. So to get a 2D11, you have to use online, which is not real. I have a hunch. I probably won't be able to see anything in here. But yeah, that ain't happening. We'll come back on the way out. Now, Stromer, I do have a lot of dice. My two best die sets are from, little shout out here, Your Wizards. I think it's yourwizards.com, but they have amazing dice. And my two favorite dice sets, I have one that is the like pattern and numbers are all like Nordic themed, and the die are made of obsidian. And I have another set that is to remember, it's made of a gemstone called labradorite, and it's got like very plant-like patterns on it. And those sets were both $75, so they're pricey, but you know, they're quality and they're good. And they're made out of gems and stones and stuff. And honestly, ever since I got my obsidian set, I literally have not been able to ever buy like resin ever again. No, I still use them. They're coated, so they're protected and they still function as dice. Yeah, made of real obsidian. No, the labradorite ones are so pretty because if you hold it up to the light just right, they like glow purple. It's so cool. Yeah, it's I've never been able to go back to just like plain old resin sets after getting some of those sets because I love I think that metal dice are too heavy, and also metal dice can like damage what you roll them on. And resin dice just feel like 9 times out of 10 resin dice are just really cheap unless they're like the cool ones with stuff inside of them. But the stone dice is like a perfect middle ground. It's got enough heft to it, and I cannot see anything. It's got the right amount of heft to it. It's got just there's not much else to say, honestly. Good weight, and it's amazing. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of metal dice. They're too just like destructive. Especially because sometimes I end up using my books to roll on, and I am very protective of my books. I'm not gonna roll dice on my books that are gonna end up wrecking my books. Well, baby metal dice is different. Those aren't gonna hurt anything. Oh goodness. Oh no, I'm lost. Hold on. Bed. Opening. Yeah, we're not warming up in here, so we gotta get going fast. The idiot? I will bitch slap you so hard. I will slap you so hard your ancestors will get dizzy. Yeah, I'd go with, I think hand feels a good word. Hand feels a good word. Hello, Horny, welcome in. I'm so used to just reading the first word of people's names for their name. And yours is just Horny, so that's fantastic. Oh my gosh, guys, Mars is being such a cutie patootie right now. So Mars came in and he likes to sometimes like burrow underneath my blankets on my bed. And he's got his like little face poking out right now, and he's just looking at me. Let's see. I saw ones with Rocky inside from Project. Oh yeah. I'm sweet. It's the cream you're about to eat. The ice cream. Oh my god. I made that way worse on accident. Loitering Mars, as always. He's such a little loiterer. Little man. Ugh. Hold on, I'm gonna auto walk so I can take a bite of my breakfast. Guys, I'm debating going to the new Star Wars movie because I'm sure it'll be super forgettable. But I've heard that the action's decent. And honestly, I've been sad, so why don't I just go to a stupid Star Wars film and watch Pedro Pascal shoot things? All the while, shoving popcorn in my face. Hello, Horny, welcome. Yep. That was me in that moment. My lord, the loudest cars are driving by this morning. I did finally actually start working on my game again. So I'm happy about that. Poppy Pascal. Yeah, I did, Mockingjay. The whole situation with that is so stupid. In fact, it's so stupid that Moist Critical made a video on it, and that is the last show I would have ever expected him to make a video on. Like, ever. It is so not in his wheelhouse. I just don't get how some games are, or not games, just some things, any creative things, they're most hated by the people that are supposedly like it. Like, I just don't understand. Like, all of the backlash has been about the fact that Gooseworks doesn't really care that it got leaked. Or, like, isn't super upset about it. Like, it got leaked, and her response was like, well, it is what it is. And everyone's like, you should be mad about it. Stop telling her how she should feel about her own thing. Like, the whole Avatar movie got leaked. Things just get leaked now. It just happens. The fact that it happened and she's not throwing a fit about it, honestly, good for her. Good on her. That was, like, the correct response, I think. Easily the most mature response. You see, the only reason that I haven't watched the Avatar movie already is because the version that got leaked isn't actually the finished version. As far as I've been told. It's like a slightly unfinished version. There's still like some audio design that needs to be finished. If it was the finished version, I probably would have watched it. Now, if it was still in theaters, I would wait until it came out. But instead it's getting ripped exclusively to Paramount Plus, and I refuse to buy into that garbage. No, yeah, the behavior from the community for the Digital Circus has been absolutely unacceptable. I got matches, didn't I? I did. I need to get my fingers warmed up. Yeah, it's just so stupid. It's like, wow, fantastic. I don't know, it's like the behavior of like toddlers, the way they're behaving with it. I'm going to Ash Canyon. That's the current goal. Yeah, I also don't know how they got the movie without somebody who worked on it being the one leaking it. But then again, people hack into things all the time. Maybe somebody hacked into one of the workers', I don't know, computers or something. I don't really know how that works exactly, but it happens, so. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how Avatar got leaked. I don't think anybody on the team leaked it. Guys, what if I warm up my sardines? Why is that not an option? I want warm sardines. Oh, I got a sewing kit as well. Well, if I get some extra cloth, that would be lovely. How long is this? 2:30. Let's throw that on there. It was you? Shit. Can't believe you. No, okay, it's also so stupid because it's really stupid because the Amazing Digital Circus fanbase, they were so upset that it was going to theaters, but it's also still going to be on YouTube. And then they're throwing these fits, but like if you read the post that Gooseworks made about why they're doing that, I don't understand why anybody wouldn't be so supportive of it. Like, they're doing it to kind of continue the train that Iron Lung started, with showing that you don't need to be a giant corporate body in Hollywood to be able to succeed in filmmaking and or just any type of like media. Like that was why they did it. And after like at first I was skeptical about the decision, and then I read that and I was like, oh, well, you know what? I fully support that idea. And then people throwing these fits about it, and I'm like, why? Yeah, I will say I did hear that Glitch did ghost a couple theaters, which was a little bit weird. Not a big fan of that. Yeah, but it's so... I just don't understand why people can't get past, like, but I don't want spoilers. I don't want to see it in theater. Oh, tough tater tots, Tutor. You're not the only person in the world. And being able to continue to show that indie projects can make it into theaters, I think is a fantastic goal to have. What do you mean? I'm being anti-corporate plan. I am very against corporate. Everything I'm saying is against corporate. Yeah, especially because it's indie animation, too, yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, it's just unbelievable to me, the attitude that people have about it. It's kind of the same way I feel about Slay the Spire 2. Because for those of you who don't know, Slay the Spire 2 has, like, overwhelmingly negative reviews. Or maybe it's mixed. But it used to be overwhelmingly positive. And everybody that I've ever talked to loves the game. However, it got review bombed because people didn't like the changes that were made to the cards in one of the patches. And what the card changes were was literally just, like, they made infinite card decks a little bit harder to get. Which, like, yeah, they should be. Those are like, oh, you get that deck, you win. Like, those should be hard to get. They're really hard to get in the first game. And I just don't understand. Well, okay, I will say that one's a bit more complicated. I did watch a video of a guy who covered, like, information about it. Because it got review bombed primarily by people from China. And Slay the Spire, actually, like, the first game blew up because of how much play time it got in China. And the player base in China is way bigger than the player base in the US. Oh yeah, that's right, sorry, the recent reviews are negative. But yeah, the reason it really got review bombed is because in China, it's you gotta watch the video to actually get, like, the specific stuff on it, because I only remember the basic information. But basically, China has banned a lot of, like, most of the ways that, like, players would be able to communicate with the devs. So they can't use, like, direct forums, they can't send, like, emails. The only way that people in China can tell the devs how they feel is through Steam reviews. So it got review bombed because people in China are much more active in giving reviews, especially negative ones, because it's the only way that they can communicate how they feel about the game to the devs. That being said, I still think it's a little bit stupid. Like, you supposedly like the game, but because a couple cards got changed, you're gonna all bomb it so heavily. It's like, I don't think we need... That's just so dumb. It's so stupid. Because also, in my opinion, the more fun decks you can build in that game are the non-infinite ones. Like, there are so many builds that are very, very fun that aren't broken, like Like infinite card decks. So why are we throwing a fit when infinite card decks are harder to get? Like it's the only card deck you can make. It's so obnoxious and so stupid. Yeah, we do have an issue now, though, because I just realized that if I'm gonna climb that rope, I need to not have sprains, and I need to sleep to not have sprains, and I can't really sleep right now. Yeah, I got a sprained ankle. Yeah, but it's just so frustrating how oftentimes it feels like it's the people that are supposed to be the game's biggest supporter being the game's biggest hater, or like anything creative. They hate on it more than anyone else when they're supposed to be the people that love it. Oh, that's right. Isn't there an... Yeah, that's right. There's an upwards goat that you can do over there. I've just never learned it. Oh, honestly, painkillers are so useless, it's crazy. The only use painkillers have are for, like, curing afflictions that require them. Like broken ribs. But, yeah, painkillers need a bigger use. They're pretty useless. Mockingjay, how do you feel about the Regent? Because I love the Regent. Now, I do admit, the Regent needs more variety of optimal builds. Because the Regent, where he is right now, really only has 2 optimal builds, and even then, one of them is kind of finicky. That being said, I do love the general premise of the Regent's builds, and really hope that he gets some more stuff, because I enjoy the Regent so much. Also, if you try the Necrobinder, the Necrobinder's really fun.
One little fire. Perfect.
Oh yeah, I've gotten some crazy star builds going with the Regent. How is it so warm here? It's just the wind chill making everything so cold. Let's see. Yeah, the problem is I got 2 sprains, which I really should have not let happen. I was just distracted ranting. Oh, yeah, that's a full blizzard now, isn't it? Okay. Okay, that's so rude. That's so rude. That's disappointing, disrespectful, sadness. Dis in my face and dis of your mom. I sure told him. It's fine, I got plenty of firewood and the fishing hut has a stove in it. Okay, frickin' Timberwolves, of course. Joke's on you, you can't get me in here. Frickin' loser. Oh, Terminator, I use them all the time. There's nothing wrong with using online maps. That being said, I think that you should use online maps. Hello, Timberwolf. As a method to help you learn the game better, and then... Hello. And then once you no longer need the maps, stop using them. That's what I think about it. But I always rely on my own knowledge of the maps first, and then if I really need help, I consult the maps. But there's nothing wrong with using maps. Well, Strummer, if you're struggling with managing your weight, may I recommend you a series from a YouTuber called Stars, called A Roomy Pack, that tells you how to organize your pack for the best possible travel. I hear it's pretty good. I will say though, guys, devastation. I have never had a video tank as hard as the one that went up yesterday. Like, devastatingly tanking. Which is sad because my editor and I worked very hard on that video. But I do get it, because there's like two sides of the coin. There's like wanting to reach out to a new audience to grow the audience, right? And then there's it only gets shown to your current audience that doesn't watch Zomboid content, right? So you have two coins. You either reach the new audience and then it goes well, or it only gets shown to subscribers and it doesn't do well because people don't watch Zomboid content. Hello, Misty Hope. Welcome in. No, yeah, Terminator. I hope the whole point of that video is to help it be less confusing. So, it's still a lot, and you gotta play to like get used to it. But that being said, it should be somewhat helpful. Yep. Exactly, Francois. So, like, yeah, you either reach the new audience with it, or you don't, and then it doesn't get clicked on. Which is unfortunate. That being said, I do have the, I'm working on a gameplay-styled video that's going up this week that I won't give too much detail on, but I'm hoping that does well because I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm gonna have fun doing it, continuing to do it. Thank you, Carl. Yes, please do. It's such a good game. Well, because that's the thing is that somebody commented on that video that said like, I started playing the Long Dark because of you, and after playing Zomboids, it feels like I'm going in reverse now. And it's like, well, I mean, yeah, I started playing Zomboid because of my community, because they kept recommending it to me. I originally was like, oh, it doesn't seem like my thing, but I tried it, and I loved it. It's great. We do have a general games chat in the Discord, Mockingjay. Make some water? You're right. I'm just talking. I should be doing something. How much water do I have? None. I have none water. I feel like I look so bad at this game when I'm streaming, but it's just because I get really distracted. We do indeed have a general games chat. Can't find it? It's underneath games, right above the Long Dark. Is it, like, restricted? Not private. Maybe if I do that? Wait. Games category. Edit category? Permissions. It just should be, yeah. There shouldn't be any, like, restrictions on them. Oh, you found it? Okay, good. Oh, wow, the wind is right in my face right now. Alrighty. What was I talking about? I was talking about something. Oh, so I can make the worksheet to help myself heal up a little bit.
Snow if hypothermia wouldn't kill me.
Yeah, because here's the other thing too is the sad reality of the fact is I've gotten really burned out of the long dark content. Now, that being said, I had a lot of fun with the gameplay style videos, so I might be able to do more of that. But as far as guide videos go, I've gotten pretty burnt out of that for a bit. And the other thing too is, guys, I forgot what I was talking about. Holy crap. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I really, really hate the Long Dark Wiki because of how inaccurate it is. It's so bad. Like, so, okay. You know what? I'm actually gonna, we're gonna go through a demonstration here. Okay, because I started writing the second part of the Afflictions series. We're gonna go through a demo here. It's very fuck-ass zoomed in because I had to do that. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Here we go. I hate the Long Dark Wiki because I constantly have to go back into the game to test out like half the things I read on here because it doesn't sound right. So for example, fatigue reduced. I was making the video and I usually use the wiki as like a quick reference. And using that for Zomboid is fantastic because Zomboid's wiki is really good. But I come to this wiki and it says, okay, plus 10% of fatigue decay is slowed. That sounds right. And then it says, minus 50% calorie burn from sprinting. And I go, oh, interesting. Let's test that. So then I do it. Absolutely wrong. Not correct at all. I drink a coffee, I go full sprint bar, and I see how many calories I burned, both with and without the coffee. And it's the exact same. It's the exact same. And I don't even know where this came from. Who put this here? What's going on here? Like, I don't... caffeine pills you get from the trader. But like... yeah, it's just stuff like this, where I'm like, it makes making the Long Dark Guide so frustrating sometimes, because I don't want to rely just on my own memory, because then I might miss something. But then if I go to the wiki, it's like a battle of me constantly having to test my memory against the wiki, and 9 times out of 10, my memory is correct. Let's see, there was another... yeah, another thing here. This is wrong. It's 60% is replenished immediately, and 50% is lost when it ends. And I knew that. But then I had to go into the game and double check it, which, yes, was correct. Like, I was right. But it's annoying that I had to spend, like, 5 minutes of my time doing that. And it's just constantly. Because another thing here, right? Oh my gosh. This video has been a pain in the ass because of how much incorrect stuff there is on the wiki. So, armored, you get from the ballistic vest. It gives you plus 50 protection, right? No, this buff does nothing. This buff does absolutely nothing. The ballistic vest gives you 50% protection. The buff does nothing whatsoever. The buff just says, hey, you're wearing the ballistic vest. This means nothing. It does absolutely nothing. And I have to go in and check And yeah, it just only has the 50 when I wear it. So then I go spawn a cougar, let the cougar attack me. If there is like a hidden plus 50%, I would take no damage. But no, I took damage. Are there any other ones? This one I didn't even bother testing for because there's no number on the condition percent. These all I was fine with. Yeah, this one's completely for like leaving out the fact that it gives you some warmth back immediately. It's also not significantly, it's 50%. It is exactly 50%. Like, was trying to edit it. I mean, I probably should at this point with the amount of stuff that I find that's wrong. How do I even edit it, though? I've never done that before. How do I do that? I don't know. I'll figure it out later. Anyways, that tangent. 50% is extremely significant. It's amazing. But like the specific number is important because 25% would also be significant. Like you should know exactly what you're getting. Yes, I do know that, dude. Which is actually a bug. It's not supposed to be that way. Oh, probably Strummer. The universal more sign. I'm currently in the cabin in Ash Canyon. Or the broken fishing hut, rather. But yeah, the reason I say all that is because making Zomboid videos has actually been so nice because the wiki is so thoroughly kept and maintained. Like, very rarely have I ever felt the need to actually check something in-game. Lacerations in Zomboid, you put a bandage over it. If it gets infected, you disinfect it and put another bandage over it. Yeah, it does. I'm gonna call you Ben Franklin instead of Horny, because that just feels better. Yeah, Ben Franklin. I think, if I remember correctly, it's about a 10%, might be more, maybe I should double check that. But it gives you, actually, did I write it down? While we wait out this blizzard, let me check my script. Did I write it down, how much it was? Because the problem is also that I have to eyeball it, because there's no numbers by the meters for how much they are full. But let's see. Let's see. Scroll up a little bit. Sure footing. Warming up. Oh wait, warming up would be at the bottom because it's W. There we go. It's 20%. You get 20% of your warmth back. And then you lose it 50% slower. Yeah. No placebo. That's not part of what I'm doing. I'm not streaming anywhere else. Why? I'm confused. What? Huh? Yeah, I might be able to decipher the software or the wiki because I did take a Data structures class, so I had to look at a bunch of dumb as fuck tables. Okay, let's try and just get this to be done. Actually, I have a book, don't I? I probably can't read it, though, because I have a sprain. Yeah, bullshit. I can't read because my ankle is sprained, even though I'm not moving. Freaking pissing me off. Ooh, actually, guys. Can I use you as a, like... Not really a guinea pig, because there's nothing a guinea pig with, but can I run an idea I had by you for the game that I'm making? I'll probably do it regardless if you say yes, but I feel like I should ask first. Prepare you. Let you leave if you want to. Okay, well, the Timberwolves finally left. Okay, can this please go away soon? Oh my goodness, 5 gifted members. Thank you so much, Tristan. Yo, Ben Franklin got one. Huge. Huge. Ben Franklin, you're now a member. Feel free. Not Horny Ben. Yep, Horny Ben is now a member. It's too late, you can't take it back. You now have access to all of our emotes. Our exclusive emotes that I really wish I could just make it available to everyone, but unfortunately, that ain't happening. Eh? Yeah, fish. No remember for you, I'm sorry. Hey, Horny Ben Kenobi, I would let that guy live in my house. I love the Only Hope soap, which is the Obi-Wan Kenobi soap from Dr. Squatch. Not only does it smell fantastic, but it's amazing. Because it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, guys. It's fucking Ewan McGregor and his luscious, luscious scent. Okay, I will say, I don't know why I started that sentence like that. I'm okay, I know it's not gonna happen because frankly, I don't get enough like views consistently to really get sponsored by anyone. But I did message Cheeky Soap, which is Moist Critical's soap company. Because I tried their soap. I felt like trying their soap, mostly because they have the funniest, I almost said flavors, the funniest, like, scents and coolest box art of, like, any soap brand. I was like, you know what, I have to get some of it. And I got their license to clean, is what it's called, which is very funny. I don't know how to go up this, I'm gonna be so for real. I got license to clean, I got Lo-Fi Lavender, I got Squeaky Queen. And then I got the Bahami Mommy because it's just so funny I couldn't not. And guys, if I was like stupider, I would have eaten the whole bar of Bahami Mommy. Bahami Mommy smells like it would taste fucking delicious. It smells so good. Normally, like, scents for soaps and stuff, I don't, like, smell it and think, oh yeah, that smells like it would taste good. But this one, oh, I want to eat it. I want to eat it. I want to eat it. Bro, if I could get sponsored by Cheeky Soap, that'd be huge. I have to go even farther to the left. Okay, what the actual fuck? Make it up this. Honestly, I'm considering it, Toasty, because it's just that good. I feel like I needed to get a little bit higher for this to work. Keep going, then I go far enough left. Ugh. I'm more so just worried about the Timberwolves. I don't want to get spotted again. Yeah, well there it is. Oh, they're smaller morale bar this time, though. I'll stay up on the rocks where you guys can't reach me. Oh, or not. Okay. That's some actual BS. Like, I know that I have the frickin' stupid timer thing. Yeah, joke's on you. I'm on a rock. You guys can't get up rocks. Okay, well, I'm about to not be on a rock anymore. Oh, okay, bye. Oh, whoa. Whoa, credit where credit's due, guys. Toasty's got really fun ideas, but the handoff challenge was Perk's idea. I think, right? Wasn't it? Maybe I'm wrong. Toasty, were you the originator of that idea? Guys, I might just be cooked, honestly. We might just be cooked. Rock.
I'm gonna need some first aid soon.
Timberwolves don't really get scared of torches as much as they get scared of you looking at them. Yeah, if you... It's kind of like with a wild cat. If you keep your eye on them, they're less likely to charge you.
That's
Okay, well... Y'all back off again. Up right here? Can I even get up that? Yeah, I might just be cooked here, is the unfortunate situation that we're in. Someone's stuck. Okay. You're saying that I can climb up here? It looks way too steep. I also might just start a fire to get these guys to go away.
it. I'll make it.
It's a little stuck in the ground, but whatever.
Lucky day.
Where is he? Is the... I need to watch the whole handoff challenge, because I've been wanting to do that so bad. It was so... That actually was a really fun challenge, too. Man, I am just, like, fully out of everything, huh? Does this add any... I just don't remember. Does this add any temperature? I don't think it does. It really doesn't. Okay. Actually, maybe I can get up this. Can y'all go away? Like, for real. Yeah. Be scared. Aw, the idiot. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, there we go. Now they're gone. And I should probably light my other torch just for... I'm already freezing. That doesn't really matter. Yeah, I don't know if I'm believing you guys when you say I can get up here. Yeah, I'm not really, getting that much progress here. Not gonna lie, guys. I'm not really making it up that cliff there. Do I have to go up that and then go back over to the left? Then hug the wall and go right. Okay, yeah. That's an obnoxious upgoat, though, I'm gonna be honest. Very long.
Ow. Ow.
But then again, upgoats are kind of that. I have been meaning to learn this one for a while now. Oh, darn. Hopefully I didn't just fuck it all up.
I'm gonna need some first aid soon.
Okay, zone of contamination. I think it's a... In terms of design, I think it's an S tier region. I wouldn't stay there for extended periods of time as a survivor, but it is a... Absolutely one of the stronger, if not strongest,
That smarts a bit.
designed regions in the game. 100%. I get a little bit higher, please. Thank you. There we go. We did it. Only, like, about to die. It is indeed Terminator. Franklin, what the hell? Whee!
Hurts a bit.
Alrighty. And it's warm in here. Hey! Combato Panzer. Which, is that a guaranteed spawn? I feel like I've never not seen that there. Am I the only one that's never had a problem with the poison wolves? Like, I just always go there with a bow and they all just run right into the arrow like all the other wolves do. I'm gonna do a thing. I've wasted quite a few matches. But, yep, that's what I oh, never mind, we're fine. See, easy peasy.
I'm gonna need some first aid soon.
Because I want to get an herbal tea, because otherwise we are gonna be in a rough spot in the morning.
Come on, little fire.
Oh yeah, they're horrible if you have nothing to defend yourself against them with, for sure. Oh, I need water first, that's probably... Guys, Mockingjay was onto something when she keeps telling us to use water. That stuff might be good or something. You see, the Cougar would change my route, except I always get through Ash Canyon anyways, like by that point already. I typically don't find myself getting the backpack after the Cougar has spawned. Damn right, yeah. Love the confidence, Mockingjay. Love the confidence. Then I am out of water again now, I think. Any other things I can... I should have... How much do we have? 50, ooh, maybe... Will we stay in the embers? Will we give me embers to keep working with here? We sure will. Boom. And then another crate. Oh, I should have started the water first. God damn it. Oh, floating spoon. It's fine. We still get through it. Yeah, honestly, Franklin, I should be doing that always because I do not drink enough water. Hello? Hello?
I'm gonna need to eat.
You're gonna need to E. She's gonna need to E. Of, of course I took my pills. I'm just pausing and stepping away because I need to check on something. And back. Yes, Mockingjay, exactly. Corey, welcome in. It has been a while. Good to see you. How are you doing? What pills do I take? I take me some Vyvanse and some sertraline. The good shit, you know? Dude, Mars, oh my god. So, last night, I was super uber duper omega bored, so I finally kept watching Dr. Stone. Which, by the way, fucking fantastic show. And the problem is that for some reason, whenever someone's sitting on the couch, Mars, I just don't understand. He refuses to let anybody sit on the couch. If somebody's sitting on the couch, he starts screaming. He will meow, meow, meow all the time, try and knock things off counters, knock things off shelves, and he will never, ever, ever stop. Ever. Like, it's so ridiculous. And it's annoying because I'll try to watch a movie or watch a show, and it'll be a game of constantly having to get up and stop him from breaking things. And he doesn't do that when I'm at my computer. When I'm at my computer, he just lies in his bed and sleeps. Mars is my cat. It's so annoying. Because, like, yeah, I probably spent like 3 hours on my couch last night watching stuff. But, like, I had to put him. I haven't had to put him in the bathroom in a long time. Like, that's his timeout zone because he won't behave. I even, like, got a toy and, like, ran him around a bit while I was on the couch. And the moment I stopped playing with him, it's back to destroying things. And I just don't understand why he is so against letting anybody sit on the couch. That's the thing, he can't. I've tried to give him catnip and like I've like doused his toys in catnip. He pays attention for like a minute, realizes we're still sitting on the couch, and then he keeps bugging us. Like, you know, I would love to get a black cat or a white cat and name him Luna. Which, by the way, can I just say, we are dumb for calling the moon Moon instead of its actual name, which is Luna. Luna is a way better name. What on earth is that supposed to mean, Toasty? I take insult to that. Oh, and you're saying it'd be in my best interest. Wait, so I'm confused. Are you saying that it would be good for me to have no child? I can agree with that. I don't think I would want that. Well, Luna is also just the official name of the moon. Like, Luna is the way that what the moon has been called, like by ancient astronomers and stuff. I'm pretty sure. I can double check actually. Let's see. Yeah, ancient Roman and well, Selene, because Greece was Selene because that's the god of the moon. But like ancient Roman and Latin astronomers called the moon Luna. Your car's name is Luna? Love it. Love it. But yeah, Mars got some bathroom time last night, which I hated to do because he hasn't had to be put in the bathroom for so long, but he just wouldn't behave. And it frustrates me because he has so many toys. I try and play with him while I'm on the couch, but the moment I'm done, he just continues to freak out, and I don't understand why it is just sitting on the couch that he refuses to let us just sit and do. If we're just sitting on the couch, he will never, ever, ever stop screaming or trying to break things, and I don't understand what it is about the couch that does that. Tox, I see what you did there, Tox. I see what you did there. That's clever. That's clever.
I think I can use this.
Yeah, if I had a kid, I think I would do. You see, I don't really want kids. Maybe I do eventually, but for the time being, I don't really. Mostly because I'm very scared of dying, and I constantly feel like I don't have enough time in my life, despite the fact that I am a very young person. And the idea of sacrificing most of the life that I have, not most of, but a giant portion of it to raise a kid is just, I know it's selfish, but it scares me a bit. That being said, I do find some appeal to the idea, but that's a future me decision to make. I don't gotta make that decision right now by any means. But if I did have a kid, I do think that it would be a struggle because I would do my best to be a good parent, which would take away from a lot of like stuff like school and YouTube and personal hobbies and personal care. Leviticus, toughest name ever? Hell yeah. Why did I shoot the cow? Oh, someone's watching the video, isn't it? Hello, Mars. Oh, look at that. You're getting in your bed to be nice and calm and sleep when I'm at my computer. But later today, when I go to the couch to watch my show, you're gonna try and break everything. Why is that? No, I don't only play with him on the couch. In fact, I only play with him on the couch when he is freaking out. And that's not often, because I don't often just sit on the couch. I usually play with him just when I have the energy, and I run him around the apartment a little bit. Yeah, I promise you he has no reason to think that couch equals playtime. Well, you see, Rich, I'm on the couch because I'm trying to watch something. So, like, last night, I was on the couch because I was trying to watch some seasons of an anime that I had not caught up on in a while. And since it's an anime, especially, I need to read subtitles, which means I need to be able to look at the screen. And it's kind of hard to look at the screen if I have to play with the cat. Yeah. I will say though, Stromer, I do have an abundance of relaxed time, so I don't know if you should feel too bad for me. But still, I'm still annoyed about it. I have no idea, Terminator, because I've never found it personally. Wait. I was gonna say I can't get the saplings, but I can because I have a hacksaw. I'll find plenty more birch saplings, but I'll keep that in mind. Oh, I'm sure he does, Toasty. That's kind of how cats work. They think they're in charge. And it's adorable. Because you're the one who has to have me clean the poop off your ass. Or else you just sit there with poop on your ass. People that are not pets don't get poop on their ass, Mars. And they can go outside whenever they want to. You have to scream for it. Mars is a wonder, an anomaly. Mars is orange and white with pretty long hair. We know what was that? Well, there's an intruder, Mars. You know what to do. We know what Mars's mom was. Mars's mom was a short hair, orange short hair. Now.
It's so cold. I just want to lay down for a bit.
We don't know what Mars's father was, and I think it's safe to assume that Mars's father was a mix of things, because Mars has long hair, Mars's mom did not have long hair. That being said, Mars, we're pretty confident, has the tiniest touch of Maine Coon in him, because he's very large for a cat. He's only a year old and he's 13 pounds, which is larger than most, like, fully grown adult cats. And he's not fat, he's just big. And he also has, like, the fluffy ear tufts of Maine Coon. And he has large paws like a Maine Coon. And he has a very baby version of, like, the cougar jaw that Maine Coons get. Did I ever grab that sapling that I just walked past? I did. So, yes, yeah, Stronger. Mars is a very like a very softened version of the lion jaw. Which I actually didn't even notice until the vet tech actually pointed it out to me at a vet appointment. So yeah, Mars's dad clearly was quite a few things. He definitely wasn't full Maine Coon, because I highly doubt that Mars is half Maine Coon. I do not think that is the case. My god, the idiot, what the fuck?
I'm gonna need to eat soon.
I've never heard of that one, Bailey. What's that one about? What type of game is it? Oh, he is. Stromer, if you go to the pinned message, that's our Discord. If you go to pet pictures, you can scroll up and find quite a few pictures of Mars. He's an absolute cutie patootie. And he knows it, too. When he wants pets, he'll lie on the ground and roll and meow with his belly in the air because he knows he's fucking adorable. When she forlorn on my musk till I keg. That's what I'm saying. My god, you guys are being such losers right now in the chat. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Man, this point is desolate. Man, this sure is a forlorn muskeg, am I right? Man, this railroad is broken. That's what you all sound like right now. according to my calculations, this zone is really contaminated. That's you guys right now. That's what you sound like. Oh no! A railroad! It's broken! The valley's not pleasant at all this morning. Ooh. Well, let's cook up some potatoes. Some patatois, if you will. And some water, of course, as well. Thank you, Rich. That's what I do. What? I'm never... I do good nerd impressions because I'm, like, just good at everything. I'm not a nerd.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a foam helmet that I made from an anime behind me. I don't have a StarCraft figurine behind me, and I definitely don't have, like, multiple hundreds of dollars, bordering probably close to $1,000 of D&D books behind me. I would never do that. I'm insulted by the insinuation, actually. Pretty grumpy that you would even, like, try to make anyone think that I'm a nerd. Because I'm not one of those. Should eating this first. You see, that wasn't a good one, Strom. Not Strom. The idiot. I would go with more like these meals fill me with perseverance, you know? Like, fill me, you know? These meals, like, how can an inanimate object be full of perseverance? You know, I'm sorry, but I don't think that was your strongest one. Oh yeah, something that really grinded my gears a bit yesterday was like, yeah, the video was tanking, like, harder than the video's ever tanked. On top of that, I had, like, the first two comments were people being like, why is the Long Dark YouTuber making Zomboid content? And I'm not even exaggerating. That's, like, one of the comments literally just said that. And I was just like, because maybe I want to cover more than just one game. You ever think of that? Like, it annoyed me.
I need something to drink and soon.
Gonna make some more coffee. And my Sarchel IDs. Thank you, Neapolitan, for the $2. Good to see you. How you doing? You see, Talks, though, I appreciate that because I've gotten to know you enough, Talks. Like, at my first couple of videos ever, you were correcting me on some things, and I was like, man, this guy hates me. But no, I've come to know you better. So I was not at all grumpy with that. And also, you were right, because I remember catching something similar to that, and I'm really confused as to how I did not catch the thing you pointed out. Like, yeah. Yeah, it was just... Yeah, because, like, yeah, one, not infinite. And, like, yeah, I don't know. Because I know that some people, their content is just one game forever. And that does work, but I've never wanted my channel to be about that.
God, I could eat a horse.
Now, the unfortunate reality is that if other games continue to tank, like Zomboid seems to be doing, then I might have no other choice just for sustainability purposes. Or my choice would be I have to, like, make more videos so that I can do other things and also enough for the long dark so that I can sustainably grow. But there is still the fact that I just don't, like, I don't want to do just one game. You see, talks, what is that? That's all I've ever done. What are those for? I don't know what they're for. Oh, the Subnautica 2 video did not do well now. Oh, I am gonna be milking the hell out of Black Frost. Not even just because it's a really, really, really full udder. So sorry, but that's how I had to put it. But also because I'm also just gonna be, I would assume, in love with that game. You put them in soup? Nah, just eat them. No, I do intend on doing more safe house videos. It's just gonna be a while because they burn me out, I'm gonna be honest. I do intend on doing more safe house videos. That I swear. But I've got quite a few other things on the agenda that I'm gonna be prioritizing. So I cannot promise how long it'll be before then. Utter. It wasn't even meant to be a joke, it was just I didn't know how else to put it. Thank you for the $2 for utter. I have not watched that video now. You see, here's the thing about the Quonset Garage. Yeah, it's really good. And yeah, since the trader's been added, it is kind of objectively amazing. But I don't know, it just felt wrong giving the trader such a overwhelming power when it came to how things were getting ranked. I don't know. Because, like, I know that the trader is a very important resource. And there's honestly a problem that since you can only trade from Coastal Highway, it makes the debate on what the best safe house is no longer a debate. There is just a correct answer. It's Quonset.
Man, I could eat anything.
But I don't know. I didn't want to... I will admit that it is a fantastic... Not even... It is the best base location right now. And you see, that's honestly, that's the other thing about the safe house videos that makes it kind of hard for me to do them. Is that they... I kind of just want them to be kind of... Like, I try to rank them objectively. But I also want those videos to just be kind of lighter. And oftentimes, a lot of the comments in those videos are like... That was insane to put that there. And then that's also like... And then, I'll say another thing that makes those videos a bit more exhausting the more of them that I do... is by giving them each, like, their own score. Which, I've honestly, if I went back and did that video again, I would just do some tier lists, honestly. But by giving them each their own score, I'll constantly, like, rank stuff for a new video, and then see where it relates to other things, and then be like, well, that's not right, and then I have to go back and redo things. And that wolf is following me. The amount of first world problems that I'm complaining about right now is crazy. Does that thing go across the bridges? Well, what do you know? Well, yeah, that's the thing too, right? Is Quonset Garage is objectively the best safe house. Now, subjectively, it's up there, but it's not my favorite. Mostly because, especially with the trader being there, I get really bored. Because I don't have to do anything. Like, I like the camp office right now, because it's close enough to the trader that it's not like an immense journey. But it also means I have to make trading expeditions. Was Coastal Highway really the second region in the game? I didn't know that. Give me an example, Bailey, because I've probably played those before. I play a lot of games. I just don't stream all of them because typically games that aren't The Long Dark don't get a lot of views. That being said, the new Path of Exile League is coming out on the 29th, and I'm so excited for that, because the last one I didn't like very much, and the next one looks like it is going to be amazing. I might be streaming a bit of that, because you'll be hard-pressed to get me away from that game for like a week or two. I want to say the third was, like, Pleasant Valley or something, but I have no idea because I genuinely don't know. I'm just guessing. You see, I'm sorry, but... I'm sorry, Barb. I'm sorry, Barb, but it's just the truth. I always forget how many saplings there are in this place. Hey, it's okay, Terminator. You'll get there. You'll get there. Dude, my school year's done. But my bestie boy, Kenneth, his school year starts and ends a month later than mine. Which is so annoying. Because I have to wait another month for him to actually have free time to game. Yo, I was right, it was Pleasant Valley? Huge. Oh my gosh, wait, I never actually asked you guys about the game idea that I had. So, the game that I'm making is a survival game. Who knows if I'll ever finish it, but I hope to. It's a survival game. And it's clearly going to be heavily inspired by The Long Dark. But I don't want it to be identical. And I want there to be... like, unique elements. And one element that I thought of was the way that you interact with items in the world, right? For example, in The Long Dark, you click and you pick it up, right? Now, in Project Zomboid, you have to deliberately drag every single item into a container. And I had the idea of what if I kind of met that in the middle. Meaning that you collect things, and with also some inspiration from White Knuckle. I don't know if anybody's seen that game. The idea I had was, what if the player has two hands, obviously, that they pick things up with, right? So if I left click on this, I'll have cedar firewood in my left hand. And depending on what you grab, you can have a certain number of it carried before you have to put it down. And then you have to take off your bag to store it in your bag properly. Meaning that in order to carry things, you need to make sure that you're carrying the correct things in your arms. And then also, in that sense, I would also like add something like a day pack, where a day pack is much easier to take off and less inconvenient, as opposed to having to completely take off an entire backpack. It would need some adjustments, obviously, because the system itself sounds a little bit too tedious just as, like, the first pitch. But I like the general idea. You know what? I've held off on mentioning this, but I'll mention it now. Hold on, guys, it's an MS Paint day. Hold up. The MS Paint up here. So, here's the idea of my game. The concept that I'm going with. I wanted it to be winter survival because I think that cold is such a fantastic mechanic to always make sure that you're always in danger. That being said, I had the idea of making a sort of roguelike survival game. In the sense that you're not supposed to be able to live forever, but the challenge is seeing how long you can live. So, the concept of my game... I've played Prologue, Toasty. I've played Prologue. The concept of my game is, and I'm also trying to root it somewhat in real-life science, with one main exception to that. Alright? So, we've got the sun. We've got the Earth. The very poorly shaped Earth. Can I make this bigger? There we go. The Earth. So the Earth has an orbit. I know. Hard to believe. The Earth has an orbit that is held together by the sun's gravity. Right? Oh, we go in a circle. That's a great circle. We go in a circle around the sun. Now, my thought was I wanted to find a real-world excuse for the world to get perpetually colder. So, the only thing I could think of was, what if... This is the most, like, supernatural, like, this is the most unrealistic thing about the whole concept, but I'm okay with there being one unrealistic thing that's centering around. And the thing that it's centering around is that the sun suddenly has started losing mass at a way faster rate than it should be. So, essentially what that means is that the Earth's orbit, because the sun's mass is getting so much lower, the Earth's orbit is constantly getting farther and farther and farther away, meaning that the Earth is getting colder and colder and colder constantly. So the idea is you would actually start in the summer. So you would start when it's totally, perfectly temperate. Now, what's going to happen is that over time, it'll get colder, and the sun will get darker, and eventually you'll be in a world that is almost perpetually night. And the sun will be as dim as like any other star in the sky. And I like it a lot. I think it's really cool. And the element of that too is that eventually it'll get so cold that like wildlife can't survive. So once you reach that point, that's what the different difficulties would be. The difficulties would be how fast the world dies. But the idea would be, how well can you prepare for the point where everything is dead? And how long can you survive beyond that? And I like the concept. Well, Francois, that's what I'm saying is that's the most unrealistic element of the game. is that the sun is just getting smaller. Yeah, in reality, the sun would become a red giant, and then it would die out. That'd be the actual, like, reality of it. But that's the creative liberty, I guess, with my concept, is that that's not happening. Making it in Godot. It's a concept that I'm working on making. I hope I can fully make it. Who knows? I have played Outer Wilds. Fantastic game. Yeah. So yeah, in reality, yeah, the sun would become a red giant. It would eat the earth and everything. Like, yeah, it would. That would be the actual thing that would happen in real life. But that's the creative liberty I'm taking with my game is foregoing that stage.
Felt so cold in my life.
And the saddest thing, guys, is I was trying to think of a good name for the game. And then I thought of a really great one, because, you know, like, the sun is getting dimmer and dimmer, and eventually you're stuck in an endless night with the stars in the sky. It's like a eerie beauty, because like, you know, just being surrounded by stars all the time. But because of that, the world is frigid and dying, right? Like, the beauty at the end of the world type of energy. And I thought of a great name. Dying Light. And then I was like, wait, fuck, that already exists. So that was like one of the saddest moments so far, is me being like, oh, that's the perfect, because I suck at naming things. Very rarely do I find a name for a thing that I'm like, oh, I love that. And then I found that name, Dying Light, and I was like, oh shit, wait, fuck, it already exists. God damn it. So that was my tragedy.
Freezing.
Incoming lawsuit, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm playing around with some of those ideas. I have thought about Dying Night, Last Light, but I feel like those will be so obviously ripoffs, you know, of Dying Light. Or like Dying Night would be, at least. I've thought about, like, I've thought about, like, Dazzling Sky or something, because the idea would be, like, at the end. I don't know. We're thinking about it. You see, I could name it Dying Star, but that just doesn't really roll off the tongue well as, like, a game name. Assing Wipe. Yup, that's the name. Taking it. The name of my game is going to be Assing Wipe. You can't convince me otherwise. I'm sure that that is a absolute complete winner. Dying Wipe. Best name you could possibly get for this game. Ugh. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, I was making that game for a while, and then I was stupid and didn't make any backups of it, and then my thumb drive... Whoa. My thumb drive that had the game on it broke. So I took a break from it, and now I'm working on the newer prototype of it.
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
And so far, the newer prototype, much better. The organization of the systems has gone far better this time. Yeah, like, for example, for inventory, because inventory is surprisingly, I would say difficult, but it's more difficult than you would expect it to be when programming it. Because you need to find a way to have something carry all the data of an item between different modes. So, like, an item in the inventory should know how to become an item with the same information as an item you can grab in the world when you drop that item. It should also know how to become an item in your inventory after being picked up. And figuring out how to keep all that information consistent. Like, my older prototype, I had, like, 2 different systems that it was just archaic. In my current prototype, I've done a much better job of using a single, like, item data struct to consistently hold the information across every version of it. We are going to be probably in the red by the time we get to this mine, though. We're not going to die, but... Guys, I don't play this game very good when I'm yapping. I'm learning Godot script. I'm very self-taught. It is funny, though, because for the longest time, I saw Godot as, like... And Godot is very much like... And it's kind of phrased this way by the games industry in general, that Godot is, like... The, like, not a good engine to use. For some reason. Like, it's like a baby engine that can't do much. And that's just not true. And I think the reason it is shown that way by the games industry is because it's open source. And corporate stuff doesn't like open source. Yeah, we're in the red already. Let's get inside. Yeah, the main thing that I think I'm going to struggle with, too, is keeping my player controller organized, because there's so many different interactions in there, and I need to find a way to make the code... stop the code from becoming gibberish. Is Road to Vostok done in Godot? That's impressive. So, my thoughts for the art style is I severely love The Long Dark for being such a stylized game, and I want to go with something similar. But also, I don't want it to be visually identical. So currently, my idea is, whereas The Long Dark is very watercolor based, like with its visuals, I want to go for more of a oil painting sort of theme. There's going to be some work that needs to be done to figure out how to make it visually distinct, because I don't want it to be almost visually identical. In fact, I think, I showed it a long time ago in the Discord, a concept art that the High Priestess drummed up for me. See if I can find it. It was a while ago, though. In the art channel. Is there a way to see the things that I've posted? I can search by my name. Search for stars in art. No, by me. Ugh, whatever. Okay, well, I give up. It was a while ago. Is frosted light a thing already? What? I don't think so. That would be new to me. Oh, hell yeah, Mockingjay. That sounds awesome. Let me know when it's done. Yeah, I have opened my eyes to the fact that the public image of Godot being not like a serious game engine is bullshit. It's just not true. I'm gonna smash open a can because I don't want to lose anything to starvation. Name my game White Frost? Shit, you know, that's the winning idea right there. Nah, I'm not gonna die in game. I'll get real close to it, but we're about to get to a bed. And I've got herbal tea. I can sprint. Why am I not doing that? Ooh, I ran into a pole. Boom. You see, I got so close to death because when I am streaming, I don't pay very close attention to the game. I will say, the video that I'm gonna post this week, that is the gameplay video, that game is, that that gameplay is in Misery, and you'll get a much better idea of what I can accomplish when I'm locked in from that video, I think. I mean, I don't think I need to really do anything else here, honestly. We'll just drink some tea. If this gives me food poisoning, I'll cry. Okay, good. 10 hours. There's something called Game Instance, which is an action that persists and only loads once, usually where you... Yeah, in Godot, there's globals, which is just a script that you preload at the beginning of at launch of the game, and it stays there. That's what I'm currently doing for my...
Oh, I've never been so hungry in my life.
Thank you, Astrid. That's how I'm currently holding my... I don't need to drink all of that. That's currently where I'm holding my inventory, or my item information, and my inventory. My inventory stays there, make it easier to save and get data from. But my item information is also there, so if I ever need to search for...
Right now.
Thank you, Astrid. If I ever need to search for a specific item, I can just reference that script, which will have all of the items in the game in it, and then I can pull the item data that I need from that if I ever, like, lose item data or need to create new item data. I was gonna say, actually, if it comes to if you want to program for game development reasons, I self-taught myself on code. Like, I self-taught myself Game Maker for like 4 years before ever getting any formal coding teaching, and I got pretty good at what I was doing. So I will say, if you just look up tutorials, on YouTube and stuff, you would be surprised how good you can get just by using the information there. I have not heard of that, Mockingjay. Well, seems like there's a blizzard out. That's not ideal. I do think I'm actually going to head back out the way we came, because I would like to... I forget if you can go down the waterfall? I'm gonna see if I can. But I really want to... Oh my god, it's only been 2 hours. I really, really, really want to... not speak English, apparently. I really, 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 really want to go to the Angler's Den. Yeah, make sure you're always looking up stuff for current information. That's, yeah. Or stuff from past will also help you. Just always watch it with the idea in mind that stuff might be different now. Like, I've watched tutorials from older versions of Game Maker that I was still able to learn from. I just had to figure out how to translate the information into the current API. Yeah, I want to see if I can get away with reading right here. I highly doubt that I will. But let's see. Haha, I will. In that case... You know what? I've got a good amount of firewood. Let's actually start a fire at the fire barrel. Definitely don't use ChatGPT. A, you won't learn anything. B, it's just bad for everyone. And C, you'll also it'll likely give you wrong information.
Come on, little fire.
No, I put the rope back up on the other side. I'll probably be up for another hour. Yeah, in my opinion, especially when you're trying to teach yourself something, nothing's gonna hurt your progress more than ChatGPT or any generative AI. I learned as much as I did from self-teaching myself because I got stuff wrong. Getting something wrong and then having to spend the whole day trying to figure out what went wrong and then finally figuring it out is not only such a rewarding experience, but it also made it so I never made that mistake ever again. Because I understood to a painful level why I made that mistake. And doing the work to figure out what was wrong helped me never make the mistake ever again. Like, I cannot stress how much I think that using generative AI will stunt your learning. Now, if you're in school and you have a deadline, I wouldn't do it, but fine. But if you're self-teaching yourself, you have all the time in the world to spend making sure that you know, like, you're actually learning what you're being taught. And I think that you should spend that time struggling, because that's how you learn. You struggle. Oh, yeah. We're not even mentioning how wrong it's probably going to be. You might get even more confused by ChatGPT. Yeah, exactly, Stromer. Yeah, you're cheating yourself by doing that. I've not been to the summit yet, no. Francois, that is what I'm doing, basically. I have a global script that holds general global information. Right now it's also holding settings information, but I might, swap that, like, later on once I have more settings that can actually be adjusted. That being said, I currently have that up there, and then when the game loads, there's some things up in there. One of them, there's three important references held in the global script that I use. First is active player, then active UI, and then inventory. The inventory just links to the inventory that the player interacts with. It's a separate script entirely that holds the information that's of what's in the inventory. The active player is just a way for anything, any script, to be able to just reference the current active player node without having to use a bunch of, like, get tree, get root, like, go, like, search the scene tree for it. It's just an instant reference to it. And then the active UI is because in my last prototype, I had, like, a bunch of different UI screens that I had up, and I had to have separate variables for all of them, and it just got so crowded. So this time I'm trying the approach of whenever there's a UI on screen, I'm setting that one to be the active one to interact with, and then the player can interact with that UI through their inputs, and it will be dynamic across any UI that's active. Well, you see, Miriam, I'm hoarding them because I don't have a can opener. I'm trying to avoid using cans. Can I... I'm thinking probably not. Me thinks this would not go well. Then again. Then again. I'm doing it. I might regret it. But what's life without regrets, guys? We learn from our mistakes. Yeah, easy peasy. Maybe like a single sprain right here. But beyond that. Ooh, or not. Yeah. Built different. Okay, okay, that's embarrassing. I really just thought I was done and then pressed forward instead of doing one more goat. That's so embarrassing. Mars, what'd you do? Oh, nothing, my screen just turned black. Hello. Hi, don't sit on my keyboard or... Oh, hello. Butt off the microphone. Hi. Come here. If you insist on getting attention, then I can hold you and give you pets. Hold on, let me pause my game. Hello. How are you? You seem grumpy because I'm holding you, but you were standing in front of my screen, demanding attention, which means that you probably wanted me to give you attention, but now I'm giving you attention and you seem grumpy. Oh, you're sleepy. Oh, hi, cutie. Oh my gosh, the perfectest cat ever. If you think your cat is the perfectest cat, you're wrong. This is the perfectest cat. I wish I had a face cam so I could show you. One day, get me to 100,000 subs and I'll give you a face reveal. I'm currently in college with a... I just finished my junior year of a computer science degree with a software engineering focus. Hey, Mars, so, like, not back again in front of the screen immediately, because I'm going to put you on the floor. Ooh. Don't you do it. No! Stop. He's trying to break things now. So you took a nap for 2 hours, and now you break things? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'll put you out of the room. Is that what you want? Oh, you're so cute. Oh, you're so... If you do it again, I'm locking you out of the room. Don't give me that lazy eye. Your eye okay, dude? What's going on? This cat. Oh my god. Hello. Hi. I'm trying to do like the last hour of my stream. Can you let me, please? Ready, please? I beg. Sir. Yeah, sure. You want to play with the Mountain Dew bottle? You want to play with the bottle? Go get it. It's over there. Go get it, dork. Yep, have fun. Bye. Yes. Well, you see, I enjoy... You know, that's a complicated question. I like coding. Mark, get your face out of my bowl. I like coding a lot. Unfortunately, stop it. Unfortunately, the farther I've gotten into my degree, the less I've gotten to code. And it's frustrating, because that's kind of what I'm here to do, so can I please do it? Especially if we're going to be talking about generative AI, I've got quite a few stories. Oh, hello, Kirk, welcome in. Ooh. That's not gonna work. Uh-oh. There we go. Isn't there a cave I'm supposed to be going through here? Or no, I go through that side, don't I? I go behind the waterfall. Wolf, go away. Yeah, so because what I want to go into is game design. And, well, I don't know if anybody here has heard of DigiPen. They're a school that is specialized for teaching game design and game creation. I got accepted there, but then I was very scared to restart socially. So I went where I am now instead to be with my friends, who then ditched me, like, or half of them ditched me, like a couple months later, which was disappointing. I'm over that though. It's a story that gets me heated, but I really don't care anymore, I'm gonna be honest. Upon reflection, was better off. Much better off without them in my life. But now I've gotten to the point where I'm so far into my degree that I might as well finish it, and I might go for a master's program at DigiPen. But yeah, the thing about game design is that if the school isn't really focusing on it, the program's not really worth it, and that's kind of is where I am now. Like, there's a game design program here. It's not fantastic. A wolf over there. Grab some cattails. Oh, I'm sorry, Strummer. That sucks. I mean, at least I lost my friends because one of them was very manipulative and I said no. But yeah, losing your friends because you came out that's fucking terrible. I'm sorry, that's the worst. Your friends should be your friends and appreciate you for who you are, and when you show them one of the most deeper, like, things about who you are, and they leave you for it, that's just fucking ridiculous. They were never your friends in the first place if that's how they treat you. So I'm very sorry to hear that.
It's a bit, but I'll make it.
Yeah, I mean, I can give a little bit of detail on my story, I guess. So, because here's the thing, too, is I do have very fond memories of these people. And in a minute here, I'll get really angry and be really upset. But, like, when it comes down to it, I was bullied in middle school. And it was largely because I was a autistic kid who was a little bit behind in the mental development arena. And I was very sensitive, I was very crying all the time, and I just was bullied because of it. Eventually, I was homeschooled for half a year to... Oh my gosh, Mars, when did you leave this gigantic, like, tail of hair? I was homeschooled for a little bit because of it. And during that half a year, was able to step back and readjust and learn how to... Basically, I learned how to mask properly. Which, in and of itself, is not actually a great thing, because masking is inherently hiding yourself to survive, so it's a survival mechanism. I learned to mask, and in doing so, I kind of stopped being myself in the circumstance of it. So, like, for example, I really love the show Steven Universe. It's a great show. Sure, it's meant for kids, I suppose, but it's a fantastic show with a lot of fantastic lessons and meaning in it. And there was one episode of that show that I watched a scene from it like 50 times in a row. I was hyper fixating on it. But I thought that I was the biggest weirdo on the planet for being so obsessed with this scene from this show. And yeah, it was the point where, like, I was trying to be normal. I was trying to not be... I had associated everything from that time in my life with being weak. Because I would cry all the time and get bullied for it. So I was like, no, that's stupid, weird, loser, weak stuff. So I tried to push all that stuff away. And yeah, I basically just stopped trying to be myself. Now, when I moved to the place that I'm at now, that I went to high school, I moved in my junior year of high school, right before it started. And I went to
Carry much more.
the school that I'm at, and then I met these people. We were all theater kids. And these people helped me feel comfortable being who I was. So regardless of how our relationship ended, I still do value the fact that without them, I don't know how much longer it would have taken me to stop shaming myself for being happy the way that I am and letting myself be myself. So there is that about this, like, my relationship with these people is like, yes, now I think back pretty negatively, but if I take a second to really, like, give it room to breathe, I can still appreciate what these people contributed to my development in my life. And basically what ended up happening is I learned how to mask without getting rid of who I was. So I guess what I learned was instead of masking, I could tone myself down, but I'm still myself, right? If I'm in a social situation where I don't feel as comfortable, I'm still able to mask in the extent that I don't start freaking everyone out with how much I am. But I am able to still be myself to a lesser degree instead of just fully shunning myself entirely. And what that ended up doing is making me who I am today. And I don't look super fondly back on a lot of these people and these experiences, especially like for example, the guy who bullied me a bunch in middle school. I don't look back fondly on that guy, but also, and that being said, I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm thanking this guy for being an asshole to me, not by any means. But at the same time, I can appreciate that without that experience, I would not become who I am today. So I can at least appreciate that. Hello, Mars. That's the microphone. Hi, can you please, like, what? Hello. Hello, cutie patootie man. I'm sharing my life story, Mars. I need you to not do this right now. Hi. Oh, you look so sleepy. Why don't you just take a longer nap, dude? Hello. Oh, you want butt scratches? Oh, you really want some butt scratches? Oh, yeah. Oh, goodness. Okay, bye. Yeah, but basically what ended up happening is with this group of friends from that left me when I got to college, I basically was being treated very poorly. So what was happening is I'm the kind of person that when it comes to the people that I don't give a shit if I don't care about my relationship with somebody. So if it's somebody that I'm like just talking to because we're in like a group project or something, if they're being horrible to me, they're kicked to the curb immediately because I have enough self-respect to know that I don't need to put up with or appeal to people that are not going to treat me well. And but the thing is that kind of flips. If I do care about my relationship, I have a tendency to let myself take all the blame and be hurt by everything because I want someone else to be happy. So I will care so much and care so little about myself because I do have very high self-esteem, self-worth issues. So if somebody I know is hurting, I will do everything to try and help them, even at my own expense. And what eventually happened is I was doing that so much that I realized that I wasn't getting any of that in return. And it made me feel like I was just worthless and that nobody wanted to be around me, which is something I still struggle with today, but it was not a great feeling. And these people who were my friends, instead of seeing that I was upset or like depressed and trying to help me, they got annoyed by it and stopped wanting to be around me, which was what I was afraid that they already felt. And that behavior, them treating me that way, continued to just feed into my idea that they didn't want to be around me. And eventually, some stuff happened that like I was able to really detach myself from and realize that I was being treated unfairly. So I went to, and I am a person who vehemently believes in communication, especially because I am autistic, and social cues are very tough for me. Oftentimes, if something's going wrong or someone's upset with me, I'm not going to notice it just because I am bad at picking up on that. So I went to talk to, like, my philosophy is always, if something's going on, talk to the person. Nothing good happens from sitting there, being anxious, stewing on it. If you feel like there is something that actually needs to be talked about, talk about it. Because best case scenario, it was a misunderstanding and you figure it out. Worst case scenario, you figure out the truth and you now know what to actually believe in and you can stop being anxious. And I went to communicate with these people, and the one person who had been treating me very poorly, the ringleader of this whole situation, we'll call her Jebecca, because I hate, the name Jebecca is what I call anything that I'm mad at, or I hate. I'll call her Jebecca. Here's an example of, this is the thing that really broke me out to realize that this was unfair. We were playing D&D, and I was playing a character that was a warlock. So I had very high charisma, but but I also had a high wisdom, because when our party first formed, we didn't have any wisdom characters. So I put some stuff into wisdom, because my guy was a nobleman, who was the nephew of the king. So my logic was, he is very good, and I played him interestingly, because he had very high charisma, but you wouldn't expect, like, you wouldn't really get that, because his high charisma manifests in the form of, basically I made a very autistic character. His charisma manifests in the form of, like, rehearsed scenarios. So at a noble meeting, at a fancy dinner, he can be the perfect, proper, charismatic noble. But when somebody comes up and goes, "Oh my god, I love your hair, like, what do you, like, do you want to go hang out later?" He will bumble over himself and freak out, because he doesn't know how to interact with people genuinely. And then he also has wisdom, because he is in politics a lot. He needs to be able to read people and know that kind of stuff, right? And yeah, so he had high wisdom, high charisma. Eventually, this other person, who will be Jebecca 2.0, she was also a big problem. She joined, and whenever she played D&D, she has a habit of making everybody else deal with her problems, because she was a very shy person. And in doing so, she wouldn't be like, "Oh, I'll make a charisma check. I'll make an insight check." She would never do that. But whenever anybody else would, she would get mad because she felt like she could have done it. So she'd get mad that we didn't go, "Hey, Jebecca 2, would you like to do this thing?" Like, and it's not our job, right? It's not your job as a D&D player to have to tell the other players when they should be doing something. So what ended up happening is she joined as a wisdom character, and she got really mad that I was doing wisdom things when I'm supposed to be a charisma character. And because both she and Jebecca 1 were really mad at me, or like were really just annoyed with me in general, she told Jebecca 1 about this, and then Jebecca 1 went up to me and was like, not peaceful at all, just purely angry. Went up to me and was like, "You're not a wisdom character, you need to play your character like a charisma character." And then walks away from that. I am a gigantic D&D nerd. I have probably nearly $1,000, if not already over $1,000 in my D&D collection. I know D&D, and I also know that D&D changes to be whatever you want it to be. But one thing I do know about D&D is that nobody gets to tell you what your character is. That's like the biggest thing. Now, if your character is a problem, that's a different story. But you still get to decide what your character is. So for someone to walk up to me and say, "That's not your character, you don't get to play your character that way, you have to play them charisma," was like, okay, that's bullshit, and we're gonna talk about this. And then when we talked about it, Jebecca 1 just left in the middle of our conversation and then never talked to me ever again. And her leaving, it was clearly like okay, that's it. That's done. And upon reflection, I realized how good of a manipulator Jebecca 1 is. So for example, when I communicate, this is just the autism in me, guys. I think of everything so matter-of-factly, so specifically. I think of everything objectively. When I communicate, I go into it knowing that there is accountability to take on both sides every time. There is almost never a situation where the fault was always on one person, and even if it's 99% to 1%, you should still address the 1% of fault that you had in a situation. And I never go into communication allowing a conversation allowing people to not take account. Like, I'll take accountability for what I did, and then I also try to get them to take accountability for what they did, because it's important that both sides recognize that both caused hurt in both directions. And I realized that only one person I have ever, and I'm pretty good at staying that way. I'm very hard to, it's gonna sound very egotistical, but like, I'm very hard to manipulate because I'm so good at just looking from things objectively and separating emotion from it. But this person was the only person I've ever talked to that has managed to make me feel like it was all my fault by the end of the conversation. She's the only person I've ever talked to where I went in with genuine concerns being like, you hurt me in this way, and then didn't bring them up by the end of it because I felt like it was all my fault. And that is a great, great, great sign that that person is manipulative. If you walk in with genuine concerns and valid feelings, and then you walk away feeling like it was all your fault, that is a sign that you have been manipulated, or at the very least, you needed to be firmer on your stance. And that's what ended up happening with this person, and that has never, ever, ever happened to me before. And I realized that in hindsight, and realized how manipulative she was. So, we had a friend group of about 8 people. It's split in half because the 2 people, my friends Gabe and Sophie, who I've talked about quite a few times, are still my friends today, they were already not wanting to be around these people anymore because they were already not feeling super welcome. And I was roommates with Gabe at the time. I stopped being around the friend group because they were treating me so poorly. And they kind of went with that. But Sophie and the High Priestess, they didn't really have their time to really have their 2 cents with the group. So they had a meeting with them. And because here's my dilemma at this. I'm just totally trauma dumping on you guys, and I'm so sorry, but I'm just gonna keep. I'm in it now. The thing about this situation is that I didn't want. I wanted each of these people that I cared about to be able to make their own decision. I didn't want any of them, no matter how much closer they were to me than anyone else, to feel like they were choosing a side, right? So there's no my side or Jebecca's side. It's just how you feel and what you want to do. So I didn't want to do anything that would make it feel like I was trying to get anyone to my side. So when I felt the urge to tell the High Priestess to be careful when talking to Jebecca, because Jebecca has a habit of being able to twist everything around on you, I didn't do it because I didn't want to make it feel like I was manipulating people. But then, when the High Priestess and Sophie came back from that talk, crying because they thought that they had been the worst friends ever, that they had demonized their friends, all these things, completely forgetting all of the totally valid hurt that they were feeling. They just didn't even mention it, and they didn't. And as they talked to me, the High Priestess said it's the maddest that she's ever seen me, and I wasn't mad at her. I was not mad at her. I was mad at myself for not, like, I was mad at myself for not saying to be careful. I was mad at myself, and I was mad at them for what they did. Because I asked them at the end, because again, this is just the ultimate thing. Both parties should apologize in any conflict resolution situation. I asked, because they said that they apologized 100 times during their conversation, and I asked, did they apologize a single time? Did Jebecca and that group, did they apologize a single time? And then the High Priestess thought and said, no, I don't think they did. And if you look at it objectively, I was being treated horribly. And so were these other people by proxy. So there was definitely apologies to be had. 100 billion% there were apologies to be had. And none were given. Which is... It made me so mad. I was so mad. And another thing too is I was mad that I couldn't be there to say things, because of this group there was Jebecca 1 and her girlfriend or boyfriend, because they had transitioned at that point. It was Jebecca 1 and her boyfriend. Okay, rude. And then it was Jebecca 2 and her girlfriend. And I just see, and I heard some of the things that Jebecca 1 would say. Like, one of the things Jebecca said was, I almost said my real name. One of the things that Jebecca said was, Stars can come. I don't care if Stars comes here. But what I don't think that Jebecca said to the rest of the people, like her partner or the other 2 people in that group, I don't think that she told those people that she privately texted the High Priestess and Sophie that if I showed up, she would leave. So in this talk, she says out loud with these people watching to make herself seem like a saint. She's like, I'd be happy if Soren... Oh, that's my real name. Well, oopsies, doxed myself. Ignore that. Wipe it from your knowledge. I would be happy if Stars showed up. I would love to talk to Stars. In the moment when it makes her look good. But I guarantee you, she did not tell those people that she privately told High Priestess and Sophie that if I showed up, she would leave. And I think that is one of the best examples of the kind of person this person is. Now, and then the T goes even deeper. Which is the post-incident T. The post-my era with this person T. So... Again, looking back, I realized, man, I should have warmed up. I'm getting really cold. I realized, just from hearing stories about this group before I got there, that Jebecca 1 had a habit of finding someone to be mad at to exile from the group. So... Chewbacca 2.0, that's so funny. Oh, sorry, not Chewbacca. I'm saying Jebecca, not Chewbacca. Jebecca, like Rebecca with a J. Oh yeah, sorry. Jebecca too, though. That's a whole different conversation that we can get into. I don't know if we'll get into it today because I don't want to just. I feel like I'm exhausting people with all my drama. But that's a whole conversation for a different day. But
Come on, little fire.
I realized that Jebecca 1 had this habit. So before I got to this friend group,
Perfect.
there were probably about I think they're separate enough for me that I can use their names. And they're also generic enough names, I think. And one of them, okay, this person has since gone by a different name, but I'm gonna use their old name, not for the sake of dead naming, but for the sake of protecting their identity a bit more, if that makes sense. Hopefully that's okay. Yeah. But there was, like, Emily, there was Eve, there was, I'll change the name a little bit. I feel bad just using the dead name. Wire, I'll go Wire. Emily, Eve, Wire, a couple of people that, I'll change the letter K and then KK. Those people were all in the group, but one by one, they all just kind of got exiled. And I realized looking back that Jebecca is just incapable of not having somebody to be needing control over. Because Jebecca very much was the ringleader of this group. She was the mother of the group. If you don't click with her, you don't click with the group. And here's the funny thing, right? Once I got kicked out And the thing is, the difference was I didn't just stop showing up. I showed up to say this is unfair, which made it a lot more obvious the way that she was behaving, because previously people would just realize that they're not welcome and they would leave. I didn't do that. I showed up being like, this is unfair, and she, in a fit, stormed off. Which made it very clear, and that caused the 8 people in this group to completely split in half, eventually. So I just did the Trump fucking accordion thing. But we split, right? So now what's left in their group is these 4 people, and they're all living together, by the way, which sounds like hell. These 4 people, we have Jebecca and her boyfriend, and then we have Jebecca 2 and her girlfriend. So here's the problem for her. She can't help but have to scratch this itch of finding somebody to get rid of, to be angry at. But what's she gonna do? She can't choose Jebecca 2 or her girlfriend, because those two are unhealthily codependent on each other. So you can't get rid of one without the other. And she can't get rid of her own boyfriend. So what's she gonna do? And then the funniest thing, after I left, there was this person who I'm gonna call Lawrence. Lawrence, I have since learned, because I interact with him a lot in esports, Lawrence is a chronic people pleaser and brown noser. And I mean that extensively. So, for example, I was in a class, an esports class, and the teacher had this had somebody on Zoom, so they had the camera up, and the camera was pointing at somebody, one of my friends in esports, and she was like, "Why is the camera pointed at me?" And then I make jokes. I'm a goofy guy. I said, like, well, obviously because you're the best looking one here. And that might sound creepy. I know this person enough, and it was very obviously a joke, and she took it very well. Like, I delivered it in a way where I wasn't hitting on her. That was not my intention at all with that joke, and she seemed to find it funny and laugh at it. And then Lawrence goes, well, if that's the case, we should point it at our lovely Robert. Which, not real name, but Robert was our professor and the director of esports. So I made a joke about someone being the best looking one in the room. And then he directs it to, well, then we should point it at our lovely professor. Dude. Come up for air. Oh my god. Get your face out of his cheeks for 2 seconds. Like, that is how bad. That is how bad of a brown noser this guy is. And when I was about to be fully kicked out of this group, he started hanging out with this group. And he wanted them to like him. Then I get kicked out of that group. And also, sorry, I'm not reading the chat very much, guys. I'm just so into this. I'm reading the chat, I'm just not, like, responding to it a lot. But the thing that ended up happening is I ended up getting kicked out of the group, and then because Jebecca 1 just loves the drama and loves to hate people, that was just what she talked about. So you know what Lawrence did? Lawrence started shit-talking me deliberately, and I know this because somebody else who was around those people also left them and told us this happened. Lawrence starts shit-talking me, even though Lawrence wasn't there for any of the situations he's talking about, barely knows me or anything about me. He just knew that shit-talking me made Jebecca like him. So he kept doing that. And that went on for like a year and a half. And then something crazy happens. Because once that happened, I realized, oh, well, eventually Lawrence is going to get kicked out of the group because he is the only vulnerable person that Jebecca can really target to hate. And then a couple months ago, very recently, a couple months ago, my friends and I noticed Lawrence sitting completely alone at a show. And this group of people always goes to the plays and musicals, and they always go together. And Lawrence is usually with them. But we notice Lawrence being alone at this show. And that was peculiar. And then what was even more peculiar was learning that this last semester, so I guess this happened more than a couple months ago, happened about 6 months ago. But this last semester, Lawrence wasn't going to this school anymore. He was going back to a school back at home. And Lawrence lived with this group of people. He was roommates with them. So I don't have any concrete evidence other than the fact that I know that Jebecca has to choose someone to get rid of, has to choose someone to hate, and then suddenly the only person who could be easily gotten rid of was alone, moved out, and no longer going to this school. So I have no concrete evidence that it did happen and that I was completely correct in my prediction. But I'm fairly confident that's what happened. And I will say, this person was unbearable. So there is a little bit of like, haha, that's what you get. But also, I don't wish that on anyone. I saw it coming a mile away. But I still am sorry that it happened to him, because it happened to me and it sucked. Yeah. Well, yeah, Francois, the thing is Jebecca 1's mom is a little bit controlling. But I've met Jebecca 1's mom, and Jebecca 1's mom is not that bad. She is not good, but she's not that bad. Well, that's horrible, Francois. My god. Also, I'll start playing the game again now. Sorry for the extremely long rant. I'm gonna get some repairs done, actually. Let's get some water down. Yeah, but that is basically my whole social life story since middle school. Oh, don't go out, don't go out, don't go out, don't, fuck! Hello, Phantom, hello. We're not really doing group therapy, we're more doing me sharing the tea and drama of my whole life since middle school. Which, I suppose could be sort of considered the group therapy. I would not throw outside of the realm of group therapy, for sure. Man, I want a can opener real bad, because I want to get these things. I mean, I can still warm them up, but I don't want to waste their calories. Do I have enough to make another birch? I do. Fair enough, Mary. I know who you're talking about now. Yeah, I would like to, because I don't know, I feel like I've had enough people say that they, because one thing about struggles in life, right, is connections and realizing that you aren't alone, right? Like, I tell my story, and I'm happy to tell my story, partially because it just feels good to rant about it, but also because there is the hope that somebody out there will realize that, or like learn that if something similar happened to them, that it wasn't their fault. They weren't the problem. Like, you know, like, learn to value themselves a bit more. Like, I still struggle with prioritizing myself in the relationships that I care about. But I've learned a lot from that experience, and I don't want anyone to have to go through what I went through. And that's another reason, and like, I don't know, someday, I really hope that YouTube can be a thing that I can do for my whole life. Not whole life, but like for a living. Just for the sake of practicality, I know to not expect that to happen because it's pretty unrealistic that would happen. But if that does happen and I get a big enough audience, I do want to share my story someday. Because I want people to be able to connect like that. And then another thing too, and this is also so far down the road and such a egregious thing to even try and compare myself to. But like, one person that I really admire because of just how real he is and how much he connects with his audience is Markiplier. So many creators feel like they're putting on a front or a face, and Markiplier is so real. He's not afraid to cry on camera. He's not afraid to connect on camera, be real with camera, share his stories on camera. And I want to be a similar way. I want to be someone that can use my experiences to help people that maybe struggle. I don't want to act like the things that have happened or the experiences I've been through are something to be ashamed of. And I don't want anyone to feel that way. Anyways, I should probably start playing this game again, huh? Let's see. I just want to stay here for now. I could go grab some of the crates. I'll take a torch because I don't want to freeze as fast, but we're actually totally warm. But you know. Huge torch. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks, Bailey. I'm so sorry. I know quite a few people, not quite a few, I know someone who's got that a lot. I don't know if I'll tell the story because I am pretty close with that person, and I don't want to tell the details without their permission because, you know, it is their personal stuff. But even if I use different names, I don't want to feel like I'm violating anyone's personal privacy. We see there are some friendships that do last, right? Like for example, my friend Kenneth, we were best friends when I still lived in California. We met in 2nd grade, we're closer in 5th grade, and then we started being fully friends in 7th grade. And we literally, the reason we became friends is because we met each other and then did the kid thing where you say, "Hi, what's your name? When's your birthday?" Like, that's literally how our conversation went. And we discovered that our birthdays were the exact same day, exact same year. And then later on, we figured out that it was a whole thing. He is a bit taller than me, so it's like actually like a full-on twin debate at this point. But he's taller than me by like a couple inches. And at first I thought he was 43 minutes older than me, but then I realized, because I was born in Austin, Texas, I was born 2 time zones ahead, meaning that I'm actually an hour and 13 minutes older than him. Or hour and 17 minutes. I forgot what numbers I said. Something like that, either an hour 13 or hour 17. So I'm the older one, but he's taller. Like, at least I'm older. But like, yeah, we were fully like friends and never stopped being friends ever since 7th grade. And even though I've moved to a different state, even though he's very busy, we barely get to talk to each other anymore, we still try to make time to talk to each other, get to know each other. When we're struggling, we still call each other. And it doesn't matter how much time goes by, we pop on the call, we hear each other's voices, and it's just like nothing ever. It's like no time ever changed. Like, real friendships are with the people that see you and appreciate you for who you are, and there's no condition there. You might struggle, things might change, and they're still there with the change, and they will continue to stay by your side even when things are not easy. Like, that's what a real friend is. I always forget there's nothing here on Interloper. God damn it. I'll grab some acorns then. I'm sorry, Bailey. I will say, in a relationship like that, and I've talked about this a bit before. I think it was actually last week that I talked about this. I've always struggled with feeling emotional empathy. So, like, emotional attachment is not something that binds me too deeply. Alright, Mary, have a good rest of your day. I'll probably be done in like 14 minutes here, so you're not missing a whole lot. It was good to have you, though. Good to talk to you. Thanks for sitting here listening to my whole life story dumping on you. Have a good rest of your day or life until I see you again. But yeah, so my thing has always been, if somebody, like, yeah, I've always had less of a feeling that I am emotionally obligated to people, right? So my philosophy's always been, it doesn't matter who somebody is, if they treat you poorly, don't respect you, anything like that, you have no obligation to keep them in your life. Like, you alone get to choose if someone is healthy to be around for yourself, and that includes your own family, right? Now, of course, I know that's a lot harder to do than it is to say, because I know that I just know that people, where I struggle to feel those obligational emotional attachments, a lot of people don't. Have a good day, Francois. Man, this has just been a whole therapy session today, huh? But yeah, so like, for example, my dad has gotten much better and he's done a lot of work on himself, but for a long time, my dad was the kind of dad who just was like constantly being like, oh, you're being disrespectful or something like that. Meanwhile, the disrespect is me not being thrilled about being asked to clean his entire trailer for nothing, right? Like, or that's not a great example, because like chores are kind of a middle ground, but like one thing would be if no, actually this is a better example. He would say stuff that was just downright rude or hurtful and insinuate stuff about how he thinks about me. And I would clap back, because I'm not going to sit there and let you treat me like that. It doesn't matter who you are, you don't get to treat me like that. And he would say it's disrespectful for me to talk back to him. And I'm sorry, I don't care if you're my dad. If you want me to respect you, you need to behave like somebody who is worthy of respect. And if you're somebody who's going to be constantly making those comments about me and treating me that way, you're not somebody who deserves my respect. Like, you can respect actions. I can respect the fact that he raised me. I can respect the fact that he takes care of me and provides for me. I do not need to respect him as a person if he's treating me that way. And he's gotten much better, and our relationship is much better now. But that's still how I feel, and I hope and I wish that everybody could do that, because a lot of people I hear about, they're just stuck with these people that treat them so poorly, and I wish that like a lot of people would be able to separate themselves from toxic people like that. Yeah, because like I know some people that it's like this. Like, my opinion is, the soonest you can, you should go no contact with that parent, right? That parent treats you that way, you should stop talking to them as soon as you can, and maybe that isolation from you will help them realize how poorly they've treated you. Probably not, because people like that have giant egos and will never admit when they're wrong. But wow, I got 40. Jesus. But still, like, that's the hope. Yeah, that's just I don't know where I was going with that point. But yeah, that's the way I see it. Is for people that treat you like that, it does not matter who they are, you get to decide if they should be in your life or not. And if anybody's like, "Oh, but they're your mom, they should..." No, if your mom treats you horribly, you have no obligation to put up with that. None. If they want you in their life, they should treat you with the respect that any basic human being deserves. And it might be confusing because I just said that no one deserves respect implicitly. But when I say that, I mean respect as in, like, you'll say something and I'll take your word for it. Or you say something and I will listen to you. Or I'll trust you. When I say basic human respect, I mean like just treating people with human decency, honestly. Not calling people slurs. Not judging people based on their race, their sexuality, or their gender, or their skin. Like, it's just basic human decency. Every human, not every human, some are abhorrent psychopaths and mass murderers and rapists and stuff, but most humans, nearly every human, deserves some fundamental level of respect. I'm just sitting and yapping. I hope nobody joined in trying to watch a game be played today, because that did not happen. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bailey. That does not sound good. Just remember to not let the way that she treats you actually affect how you think of yourself. Yep, Stromer, that's exactly the stuff I'm talking about right there. What am I doing? I was gonna drink this. I was playing a game, right? I forgot about that. Oh, another thing? Okay, I'll get to a better topic here. Back to my game that I was talking about. There's a lot of things, like I'm taking a lot of inspiration from The Long Dark because I love the way The Long Dark plays so much. But there are a lot of things in The Long Dark that I wish would be different, and one of them is the way that interiors work. If I can manage it, I would like to make it so that no interiors have separate loading screens, because it just kind of detaches you from the environment outside. That being said, doing that with spacing things out and making things feel like they are sized correctly can be very difficult, so that might not be realistic. But what I do want to do is I want to change the way that interior temperatures work. So in The Long Dark, like, inside has like a baseline. Hello, words of wisdom. Unfortunately, we are going to be done in about 6 minutes, but I'm happy you could catch us, and feel free to stick around for a little bit. I'm talking about a game that I'm working on making. But as I was saying, is no, what am I doing? I took my tea. I need to sleep. Only doing 6 hours because I might get cold. What I want to do is I want the interior temperatures to be something you have to actually work to maintain. Okay, it's not that cold. So for example, in The Long Dark, your interior temperatures are always like set at a baseline. Like once you have a certain amount of clothes, inside's always gonna make you warm, right? I want it to be, so I'm gonna like use it, like I'm gonna use areas to do this, where the interiors will slowly work to meet the temperature of the outside, unless you have a fire lit keeping the place warm, which is another thing that, like, in the element of like, oh, you have to prepare for the end style of the game that I'm trying to make, is you will also need to prepare enough firewood to keep your house warm, because if you run out of firewood, eventually your house will become nearly as frigid or as frigid as the world outside, and you will die. And I've never really liked in The Long Dark how it can be freezing outside, but I can step inside of a building that hasn't been touched in a year, and it'll be warmer in there than it is outside. Because, yeah, it's got insulation, but the temperature should still be going down to meet that outside stuff. And that's something I want to capture in my game, where it feels like... Because I think it's just so cold. One of the reasons I love staying in the Mountaineer's hut is because it does get colder, not as cold, but colder in here as it does with outside. So, in that sense, sometimes you need to have a fire going all night, and that's such a cozy, fun survival vibe. The feeling that you need to keep a fire going all night. And it's something that I feel like is very missing from The Long Dark in most places. Alrighty. You know what? We should probably summit over here. I was gonna head back into Pleasant Valley, but or maybe I actually just want to stay here. I haven't done a Timberwolf Mountain base in a long time, and like I said, I do love how cozy this place feels. Oh, hell yeah, Words of Wisdom. Oh, I think I saw your comment on the Darkwalker video the other day. Were you the one that said the Darkwalker is like the best challenge? Because I agree. I think the Darkwalker is the most fun challenge. Like the most unique and fun challenge in the game. 100%. Well, you see, Pablo, but the outside temperature also depends on the difficulty you play on, right? So the interior would also depend, right? If it's warm outside, and like again, it's different game concepts, right? Like my game that I want to make, I the game wouldn't start out being freezing, so it allows that to be a thing. In this game, when it does start out freezing, yeah, you want it to be a bit warmer inside so there's safety. But I have always wished that it would still get colder inside, because it just doesn't do that. Yeah, if we're gonna summit, let's not be carrying a bunch of extra crap. Let's see. I need that, or that, or that. And then also any of this, because we don't have a can opener. Peaches. Millions of peaches. Peaches for me. Millions of peaches. Peaches for we. Dog food. No song for dog food. It just gets to be sad. Oh, that wasn't you? Oh, okay. My bad. But yes. Oh, yeah, the Darkwalker it's such a unique, it's such a fun challenge. 100%. I really do wish we would get more. Like, I was a little bit sad that they didn't do anything for Halloween this last year. I know they were busy, but like, even if they just brought back 14 Days of Night, because I've actually never played a 14 Days of Night. I've been playing the game when that stuff's gone on, but I never really knew it was a thing and like noticed it to do it. So I've always wanted to do one of those, but I'd have to like backload the game to a previous version to do that. Fair enough, Bailey. To each their own, 100%. It is a stressful one. Drop this. I'm not gonna be reading it while I'm out and about. And same with. Let's see that. Drop these saplings. Alright, let me actually play this video game for a second, because for like 2 hours of this stream I've just been standing talking. Don't need to carry 2 of those. Let's see. Oh yeah, the old bear section was great. I loved that part. Fair enough, words of wisdom, fair enough. Ooh. What was I saying though? Saying something. I think I will probably wait to actually set out until next time. I think I'll probably just finish emptying my inventory here and then we'll call it there for the day. I think I should be mostly done with doing, honestly. Let's drop that. Okay. I don't think it is possible to do that because you can't find any bows. Actually, yes, it is possible. The only way to get moose hide day 1 on Interloper would be if you found a distress pistol with the distress flare and you used that to kill a charging moose. That would be the only way to do that, as far as I can think of. Yeah, I don't play Will for 2 reasons. A, yeah, his breath and grunts are a little bit loud and obnoxious. And 2, I have gender dysphoria, which means that I play women in every single game that I play. Okay, let's drop... Oh. Actually, wait, hold on, I can stack things. Things look a bit nicer. Why did you rotate? Actually, hold, let's do this instead. Boom. Boom. Oh wait, that one's floating. Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the friggin' phone. Oh. Is the fine adjust not working? Aw, damn it. The fine adjust isn't working and it's usually so helpful. It's okay. It's pretty good. That's true. That's true, there is that carcass. But I don't know if that spawns on Interloper. Does it spawn on Interloper? You see, okay, that would make it doable, but very difficult, because that would mean that you need to spawn in Hushed River Valley and find a fire starter that would allow you to make the carcass warm enough to harvest. So I think that's, assuming that it does spawn, I think that is very doable, but very difficult. Because if it does spawn, okay. So yeah, I think that it's a doable way of doing it, but that sounds very, very, very difficult. Well, yeah, you'd have to dry the hide, but I think we're just asking if it would be possible to get the hide at all. I don't have any medicine. Hold on. Before we actually end for the day, let me... You'll give me some cloth from tearing you up. Let me make some bandages at the very least. No, it doesn't give me cloth. I forgot. It's cloth and leather to repair, but you don't get any cloth from ripping it up. But still... Oh no, I have cloth on me. Guys... I'm so stupid. I am muy stupid. Baka saw this. I feel like whenever I say anything in Japanese, people are just gonna think that I'm a weeb, but I have genuinely taken Japanese. Okay. Alrighty guys, I'm probably gonna call it there. I have to use the bathroom very badly. I want to do some programming. And I'm going to work on finishing up that video later, I think. Because I want to record the next part of the video, too. The thing is, the challenge that I'm recording is going to be, like, it's going to be 4 parts because of how big of a challenge it is. And I feel kind of weird making the video before I've fully completed it. But my plan is if I die part of the way through, I'll just continue the video with a different attempt when I get to that point. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a weeb, because I don't feel like I share that energy. But I enjoy a lot of anime in the same way that I feel like, yes, there's tropes to anime, but there's a lot of anime that is just as good as any other show. Like, some of animes are just some of the best shows I've ever watched. It's not because they're anime, it's because they're well made. That's the way I see it. I have seen Yakuza. I've seen some stuff played of it. But yeah. Anyways, thank you all for being here, for watching. For everyone that was here for the excessive life story trauma dump. So that, you know, that was fun. But, yeah, it was nice talking to all you guys. It was good to see your words of wisdom. If you want to catch me again, I stream kind of sporadically throughout the week sometimes, but I always stream at noon on Saturday. And you can, if you go to the pinned comment, you can join our Discord. I send live pings out there. Also, tomorrow at 4 my time, I'll be playing some Stardew Valley with Toasty Bits, so that'll be fun. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching. See you later, Bailey, Toasty, Kirk, Strom, Pablo. Words of wisdom. See you guys later. It's great to have you all.